Novak Djokovic is the greatest tennis player of all time and one of the greatest athletes of all time. But even despite all the records, you can hear when he talks how much of an emphasis he's put from childhood to present day about dreaming, about visualizing, and about dreaming big. What does that actually mean? How has he lived that out, and how can we apply that in our own lives and get the results we've always wanted? So he talks about it a lot in many significant interviews. You'll hear him talk about how very often he would think about his two goals when he was young were to be number one in the world and to win Wimbledon. Here he is after his French Open Roland Garros 2023 victory, talking about the importance of visualizing and dreaming big.
And I would just like to send a message to every young person out there, whatever you're pursuing in the world, whether it's tennis, sports, or anything else. You know, I was a 7-year-old dreaming that I could win Wimbledon and become number one in the world one day. As I said, I'm beyond grateful and blessed to be standing here with so many incredible achievements. But one thing is for sure, I feel that I had the power to create my own destiny. I try to visualize every single thing in my life, not only believe it, but really feel it with every cell in my body. And I just want to send a message out there to every young person: be in the present moment, forget about what happened in the past. Future is something that is just going to happen, but if you want a better future, you create it. Take the means in your hands, believe it, create it.
Something interesting he said towards the end there is about the power that we have. We hold the power to create the future we desire. And sometimes we can get caught up in thinking like, okay, what does that mean? Does that mean like we actually like open up our minds and like take it out? No, that means actual application. We know what we want. We understand the objectives of what it is that we want to do and want to get done. So all we have to do is just trace backwards. I'm sure when he was about single-digit aged or as a kid in Serbia, he understood what it was going to have to take, along with his two parents, what it was going to have to take to be number one in the world and to win Wimbledon, to get himself in a position to be battling eventually Federer and Nadal for the amount of years he did, and was forever stuck at world number 3 before breaking through in 2011. And what it would take to actually get to a Wimbledon quarterfinal, and then a Wimbledon semifinal, and then finally the day 14 at Wimbledon to the final match, and then to actually defeat his opponent, which ironically he actually achieved those two things within 3 days. His semifinal win at Wimbledon of 2011 got him to world number 1 on the Friday, and then on Sunday, the final day, he beat Rafa in 4 sets to win Wimbledon. So unbelievable weekend where those two things just boom happened for him. But yeah, we have the power in us. We have the power with the resources that we have all around us and the things that we have access to create whatever future we desire for ourselves. So it's all about identifying what that objective is, and as I've talked about in my video on habit-based goals, which you could click on the card or in the description under the subscribe button to watch later, you understand what the objective is, and then you just work backwards from there. And then your goals should be set to habits rather than the results. That doesn't mean the elimination of the result in your mind. You still obviously got to know where you want to end up eventually, but focus on building that lifestyle, which I'm sure he did, and his parents understood that and built that lifestyle for him, allowed him to go to the tournaments, you know, sacrificing certain things so he could travel to this junior tournament and this tournament and all that, and eventually it happened. Another interview that he had I thought was interesting after winning a tournament in the fall of 2022 was very interesting, about how a reporter was talking about how you couldn't possibly dream of this success. And then he was like, well, actually I did dare to dream. So here it is.
I dared to dream, actually. You know, I always hoped that I'm going to have a great career. Didn't know the amount of finals I'm going to play and the amount of tournaments I'm going to win, but you know, my intention was always to reach the highest heights in our sport, and I'm just very grateful and blessed to be able to play this well at this stage of my life, you know.
It's interesting that he's used the word dare, because daring means that you're going against the grain, you're going against some norm, you're going against some expectation. Perhaps that expectation is to shoot high, but not any higher than what is accustomed to for people around your level or just your atmosphere and your surroundings in general. Dare to break through that glass ceiling, because it is only a glass ceiling. Once you break through it, it's nothing but air above you, and how high can you shoot is how much you dare to dream. And he did indeed dare to dream. And so I find that choice of word very interesting. Daring. Dare to do so. Dare to dream. Dare to shoot for the stars. Daring to dream. Be sure to dare to do so. Be sure to dare to, I'm going to go against societal expectations. I'm going to go against the norm. I'm going to go against what's expected. I'm going to go against what's the status quo. And I'm going to dare to do so. I apologize for that, y'all. I don't know what was up with the microphone there, but I just switched it to the phone camera, so hopefully it's a bit better. If you're liking this content, by the way, be sure to share it with someone who you think will be helpful for, and like the video. Be sure to subscribe to join my journey on the way up. Now, the thing that actually inspired the creation of this video was me coming across a reel from a 60 Minutes interview that Novak did in 2012. This was after an absolutely legendary season in which he won 3 out of 4 Grand Slams, and he started the year with a 41-match win streak, which to this day continues to be the longest win streak to start a season ever. By far and away an absolutely insane start by winning Indian Wells, Miami, Madrid, Rome. Those are big tournaments that are not Grand Slams, and then getting to the semis of the French Open, and then winning, of course, Wimbledon on that back-to-back where he won the semifinal, became number 1, and then won the final, and then the US Open in legendary fashion, and was the year-end world number 1. And this 60 Minutes interviewer talked about how Rafa Nadal, who was a player that Novak absolutely dominated in that year, said that it's an incredible year, and I don't know how he's going to do it again. And I believe the reporter actually also said that, you're 24 years old and you've just passed the high point of your life. As a matter of fact, here is that segment.
Nadal says that your year will be impossible to repeat. What do you think when you hear something like that?
Nothing is impossible. I will aim for same year with another trophy. Why not be confident? I mean, because it doesn't make sense of being anything else but confident.
I mean, what does it feel like? I mean, you're 24 years old, and you might just have passed the high point of your life.
I think everything happens for a reason in life. So as long as I have that heart that leads me in the game, that desire to win, the love for the game, I will be in tennis. I will be many more years to come in tennis, as long as I have that. I don't have my expiry date. I don't have my limit when I want to say, okay, I'm going to play up to that age and then I'll stop. Approximately, I probably know what is the length of the career of one professional tennis player, but
how long is it?
With the schedule that we have nowadays, it's under 30, but usually around 30, 32, I guess.
So he's like, nothing is impossible. And the only thing that he was to make sure that he would not lose is motivation. And at 37 years old, and with the thing he had sought after the most intensely in his career, the gold medal, within reach, he got it in an epic final with Carlos Alcaraz on the clay courts of Paris at Roland Garros. So motivation is still there, and one could argue, and one could make a very good case that it was not the only high point in Novak's career and Novak's life. He did it again in 2015, not the 41 match win streak, but another 3 Slam season, and he actually won more titles on the tour than he did in 2011. In 2018 to 19, he won 3 Slams in a row and came within 2 wins at the French Open again of doing it 4 in a row. And even in that 2015 stretch, going over into 2016, he won 4 Slams in a row. The only player to do that in this open era, in this modern era. Not Serena, not Rafa, not Roger, but he did it. 28 Grand Slam wins in a row. Crazy. And in 2021, he had another 3 Slam season. Matter of fact, this was almost another 4 in a row, except it was almost 4 in a row in 1 year. Came so close in the US Open, but lost in the final. And then last year, another one, a 3 Slam season, yes, and another year-end number 1, and another championship at the year-end tournament, and just a myriad of titles. And yeah, so he did not peak in 2011, maybe athletically or whatever, but as for achievements, he dared to dream, he visualized it, he created it, and he broke more records. He broke through ceilings that were even impossible to think that would be there maybe in 2011.
How does 36-year-old Novak do against that 24-year-old Novak?
I think the 36 would win. It'll be a tight match, but
think so?
Yeah, I think mentally I'm stronger now than I was 10 years ago.
That the confidence, accumulated wisdom.
I was faster 10 years ago, but I think I'm probably able to play smarter today, and I'm also able to cope with the pressure moments better than I did 10 years ago.
He dared to dream, and here he is about to enter his age 38 season with more motivation than ever, maybe? Be sure to, by the way, like the video and share it with someone for whom you think it'll be helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more tips like these and to join me in my journey on the way up. But yeah, dare to dream, break through the ceilings. Do not let anybody, not societal norms, not cultural norms, not the norms of anybody or anybody else's expectations, stop you. Dare is the word that Novak used. Dare to dream. And not only will you be surprised at how far you go, but you also expect it because you understood what it took to get where you wanted to go. Now that you have it, just keep daring to dream.